Welcome back to the channel. We're an adventure with Nick and Rachel, and we bring you the best places to hike and explore in the southeast and more. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure to give us a follow, because we bring you weekly videos just like this. Today we are doing the Porter's Creek Trail to Fern Branch Falls. It's 4 miles out and back, so let's go check it out.
Throughout this video, you'll see the beautiful beginnings of spring. This trail was covered in the first trilliums, crested dwarf irises, hepatica, and so many more flowers of the season. Based off the National Park Service webpage, this trail is one of the top 10 wildflower walks, which are trails that are especially good for viewing spring wildflowers.
So what are some of the other trails that are on this, like in this area that we've done, that if people wanted to come and check out this area, they could, you know, have like a couple of trails to choose from that we have on our channel or whatever that maybe they've seen before?
We did one to a hidden gem.
Yeah, with that.
It's an old smoke engine?
Steam engine.
Steam engine.
Smoke engine.
Smoke engine. Steam engine.
It's off Grapeyard Ridge Trail, which is at the beginning up here. And then if you keep going up the road, is Ramsey Cascades Falls. So those are two really good trails in this area. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more, but those are the two that we've done that I know of off the top of my head. But yeah, so hidden gems to a steam engine, Grapeyard Ridge Trail. If you want to check that out, that's on our channel. Really cool.
There's some backcountry campsites on that one.
It's like the old steam engine was like on an old road and it just fell off into the river, so just laying down in the river. And there's probably, if you didn't know it was there, you'd probably walk right by it 100 times and never know it was there.
Just wanted to drop in to thank all those who watch and like our videos. There's really no better way to support our channel than liking and watching the full video. It helps to push our videos out there. We really appreciate it.
That's Rachel in her natural habitat doing her weird stuff off camera. Come on, what were you doing? Can you tell me your thought process behind it?
Dance that I've been chewing on fire.
What?
I don't know.
Was it Drayton Farley or?
Yeah.
Chewing on fire? That's what you were that's your, oh my lord. Rachel's an amazing dancer. After Mount, going to Gregory's Bald.
Yeah.
My calves are tore up, man.
That's why I'm wearing this backpack.
She got bruised up carrying that big old bag.
Can't carry anything on my hips right now. Got big old bruises right there.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to catch you in your natural state, but I pressed record and I was just like, well, look at her go. Anyways, it's beautiful. You found some snails. You must be best friends. It feels great today. The weather's perfect. It's just a beautiful day. Do what?
They abandoned their home.
Oh, they're not there?
No.
Oh. I guess they both dried up right there.
This trail is an ideal choice for families with kids. It used to be an old road, so it's wide and flat, making it an easy, leisurely hike suitable for all ages. You'll also find plenty of opportunities for exploration along the trail, and it has some rich historical background which adds another fun layer to your hike, where you can talk about the history of the Smokies and what it was like to live out here back in those days. Plus there's a waterfall at the end. This trail checks all the boxes, making it a great hike for everyone.
We are keeping our eyes peeled for a cemetery, right?
Yeah.
Who's buried there?
It's the Owenby, right? The Owenby cemetery.
Something like that.
There's a brick wall.
It is a brick.
That is the remnants of. I read it. Let me look it. Remnants of the Albert Cantrell farmstead.
That wall right there?
He established like a community like this farm in this area back in the early 1900s.
1900s. So on the way in on the road, I wonder if that was one of his family's cars. Remember I said I seen like a car frame from like the early like 20s or 30s or so.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but it looked extremely old. I know it was in the, you know, at least 100 years old frame.
On the way out, we need.
Might have been his. Yeah, maybe. If I can find it. It was hard to see the first time. So yeah, that rock wall right up there is what we're talking about. You can barely see it on the ridge lines, like right in here following. Guess that's where he used to homestead.
And rock walls. Every time I see one, I just think about how hard that had to have been.
To make, yeah, that was like days and days of work.
Nice.
Depending on how many people did it. It's crazy.
Imagine hauling rocks.
Hauling rocks. Hey, here's some of it right here, actually. We're walking beside it. This is part of it. Look, it goes up the hill. This right here.
Yeah.
And it goes up through there, and then bolts that way.
So we got a little way up the trail, and it looks like steps to maybe what was their front yard or something.
That's pretty cool. So we found, I guess it's front yard entrance, like Rachel was saying. Oh, these are steep. We don't know if anything's up here. We're just gonna take a look real quick and see. This trail seems to say, at least someone thinks something's up here. This trail we're doing today and the next trail, there's part of the wall right there. It really wasn't planned. A lot of the trails we were planning on doing, we decided we couldn't do because my foot's hurting and my knee's hurting, so we figured we'd do something easy. So we didn't know a lot about this trail coming into it.
Porter's Creek Trail was originally established in the early 19th century as a trade route for settlers and loggers. It served as a lifeline for the local communities in the Great Smoky Mountains. It was the main way settlers got goods like timber and agricultural produce to markets outside the mountains. The trail also played a big role in helping keep isolated mountain communities connected to the outside world. Today, remnants of this rich history can still be found along the trail.
So a little ways up the trails, maybe about 2/3 of a mile, maybe almost a mile. You'll see this little path up on the right side of the trail, and you can kind of see some of the gravestones from the trail. You can just walk up, and this is the Owenby cemetery.
So a good indicator that you're coming up to it is if first you see that rock wall, you'll see that on your right, and then a little bit up the hill you'll cross over a wooden bridge, and right after that wooden bridge you should be looking for the path up to the cemetery. If you want to see it, it's really pretty.
In the early 1900s.
There's several gravestones here. If you come up here, please be respectful. Don't walk on the graves and don't take nothing from this place.
How they did, instead of born and died, they did sunrise and sunset.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then we've seen, like, this is probably more than 5 or 6 old cemeteries we've seen in the mountains off of different trails and stuff. So, and they all got a lot of the same people, like Wiley. I don't know what that one up there says, but Martins. There's a lot of Partons, Ogles. Yeah, a lot of Dolly Parton's families are buried in some of these cemeteries. And you'll see stuff like this, which is pretty crazy. If you ain't ever seen it before, they'll put coins on top of the headstones.
Is it Owenby?
Owenby over there.
Little baby.
This is the Owen. There's an Owenby. (1836 to 1909).
Remembered by family members, 1987. We've reached a junction in the trail. To the right is an old farmstead, and to the left is to continue on to the waterfall. I'll check out the farmstead real quick. It said it's only about 250 yards up this trail.
I don't know if a tree fell on that. Look at that one behind it, from way off behind it. It's huge. It's so old it wasn't taken care of like the other ones in the park, and it just dilapidated. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I thought from back there a tree fell on it, but that's clearly just rot.
So this is the John Messer Homestead, and this is a cantilevered barn that was built by John Whaley in 1875.
And it looks like they just kind of, the National Park Service kind of let this one go, but it looks like they're actually trying to do some restoring on it, kind of like they did in Elkmont. Some of the structures over there, some of these signs, it says
Bottom
preservation
half.
work in progress.
The
So
bottom half is like sturdy like this too.
yeah, let's go check out the one behind it, because that thing, I could see it from back there. It looked massive. It was a spring house. They would have stored their food and
Horror
stuff in
movie
there.
creek.
It's like The Evil Dead.
And this cabin was built by the Smoky Mountain Hiking Club in the mid-1930s. And they were permitted to like come here and do overnight trips until like 1981.
That sucks that one's closed down, because that's one of the coolest looking cabins I've seen here. I'd love to have went in that one. Yeah, it says it right there on that sign. Smoky Mountain Hiking Club, built in 19, whatever, what'd you, 36?
34 to 36.
34, yeah.
2 years built.
This is a beautiful cabin. I love it. I think it's pretty. Look, I got a little bench out front. We're behind the cabin, and here's some old logs. I guess they had, maybe had like a little fire pit here. And I'm not sure what that is. I said it was an outhouse, but it looks way too thick to be an outhouse at this point. But unless it was a double-seater, go tandem on it. We're not going to go in.
There's like two
I
little
can't
bunks.
see it. Let's see. It's kind of dark. Let's see. Oh, there's a bunk in there. It's crazy how I can see it better on my camera than I can in real life. Lets in so much light. There's a bunk on my other side too, on the right.
I think it's it looks like a long table.
Well, that's pretty neat. And you can see people scratched all their names in the side of the rocks, like always.
The Smoky Mountain Hiking Club was established 100 years ago atop Mount Lacotte in October 1924. When the park was officially established in 1934, members committed themselves to promoting and conserving the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Shortly after, they negotiated with the Park Service to build a club cabin, the one we just saw. The cabin served as a gathering place for the club members until 1981, at which point they made the decision to return it to the park as a historical site. This gesture reflected their belief that there shouldn't be private ownership of properties within the park, aligning with their commitment to its preservation for future generations.
You smell that? So we're walking to this part of the trail, and it's covered in all these little white flowers and trillium, and I'm not sure which one, but some flower out here smells so good, like a soft floral scent.
Yeah, kind of like a honeysuckle.
Yeah, it smells so good. I don't know what flower it is, but it smells amazing.
But what I've read, and some people that we met on the trail, they said that this area, like in this like spring, will have like all kinds of flowers all throughout. I think we're at the very beginning
Of where all the flowers are.
the flowers.
Yeah.
Like time of year wise. Maybe in another week or two, I'm sure it'll be.
Oh yeah. So definitely keep that in mind. I mean, you can see, I mean, there's just trillium everywhere. All that white, all that yellow, trillium. Got the little bitty white flowers, different.
There's
the centipede that you're about to step on.
What?
I think you stepped on it. Nah, it's behind you. See him?
Oh. Ooh. Little orange leaf.
Spring is one of the best times to visit the Smokies in my opinion. It is a time of transition and reinvigoration where you get to see the mountains transform with fresh greenery and vibrant colors. Wildflowers are the most iconic part of spring in the Smoky Mountains. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park is home to over 1,500 types of flowering plants, more than any other national park in the country. Not only are the flowers coming out, but so are the animals. We had a chance to see some baby black bears on our way out of the trail. Make sure to stick around till the end to see them.
We've made it to Fern Branch Falls. This is one I haven't heard a whole lot about, haven't seen much about it, but it's definitely up there on one of the most beautiful because of all the rocks with the moss and there's flowers all around. It is a sight to see. It's definitely worth the trip up here. The trail wasn't hard at all. It's about 2 miles up the trail, and you get to see a lot of things on the way, like the cemetery, like Homestead site, the cabin. Like, it's a really beautiful trail, and it's following along the Porter Creek, and you get to cross over 2-foot bridges or 3-foot bridges maybe. But it was a really pretty trail. I really enjoyed it. It's a very peaceful hike on a beautiful day, and we're glad we got to see this beautiful waterfall. Thank you guys for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on the next adventure.
Look at them. It's like the mama and the cubs. The cubs look pretty grown though. This is cool. There goes one. That one looks shabby.